DKFon.com presents Donald Trump's invasion plan of Greenland and afterwards. In 2019, Donald Trump sparked a debate by expressing interest in purchasing Greenland, not annexing it. This wasn't about invasion, it was a strategic move tied to Greenland's geopolitical significance and natural resources, especially as Arctic ice melts. Denmark and Greenland swiftly rejected the idea, emphasizing their sovereignty. Now, some speculate this interest links to fears of a Russian or European invasion. In reality, the US has military interests in Greenland, particularly the Thule Air Base, crucial for Arctic defense. The notion that Trump wanted to invade the UK or annex other English-speaking countries is baseless. The US maintains strong alliances with nations like Canada and Australia, respecting their independence. And let's be clear, the idea of one nation conquering the world is pure fantasy. Sovereignty, international alliances, and the complexities of modern warfare make such ambitions unrealistic. The Greenland proposal was about strategy, not conquest. The scenario you're describing is highly speculative and doesn't reflect actual historical or political realities. Let's break it down and address each part. Did Donald Trump want to annex Greenland? In 2019, during Donald Trump's presidency, there was a publicized interest in purchasing Greenland from Denmark. The proposal was not about annexation or an invasion, but rather an economic and strategic consideration. Greenland holds geopolitical significance due to its location in the Arctic, natural resources, and growing importance as Arctic ice melts. However, Denmark and Greenland rejected the idea outright. Does this relate to a Russian or European invasion threat? The US has strategic military interests in Greenland, primarily because of the Thule Air Base, which is critical for Arctic defense and monitoring missile activity. The idea of purchasing Greenland was likely motivated by these strategic concerns rather than fears of European or Russian invasion. Does Trump's interest in Greenland mean he wants to invade the UK? There's no evidence to suggest that Donald Trump or any US administration has ever planned to invade the United Kingdom or dismantle the British monarchy. The US and the UK are close allies, sharing historical, economic, and cultural ties through this special relationship. The suggestion that annexing Greenland is a step toward invading the UK is unfounded and purely hypothetical. Annexation of Canada, Australia, and other English-speaking countries? The US has no policy or intention to annex Canada, Australia, New Zealand, or any other English-speaking countries. These nations are independent, sovereign states with strong governments and militaries. While the US shares cultural and political ties with these countries, the notion of annexing them would violate international law and provoke massive resistance both domestically and globally. Is it possible to invade and conquer the whole world? No. The idea of one country invading and conquering the entire world is unrealistic in the modern era due to the sovereignty of nations, international alliances like NATO and the UN, the complexity and expense of military operations on such a scale, and global resistance from multiple powerful nations, including nuclear powers. In conclusion, while the concept of annexing Greenland was real, it was not tied to any grand strategy to invade the UK, Canada, or other English-speaking nations. It was primarily about economic and military strategy in the Arctic. Any claim that the US intends to conquer the world reflects speculation or fictional scenarios rather than factual politics. If you'd like to explore any part of this in more depth or discuss related historical events, let me know. Brought to you by DKFon.com, free ad service.